Hey there, and welcome to 2 Feet First Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm so happy that you are here for this short episode. I want to discuss a word that has a negative response. It usually makes you feel guilty when you use it, and that word is no. By me saying it, did you have some feelings? And let me guess, they were negative feelings. This is a word that you use often if you are a parent because it's important to teach our kids to set limits. But if you're like me, you don't like saying it to others. Maybe it's the fear that if you say no, you would feel guilty about disappointing someone or missing out on a great opportunity. But when it comes to your business, it's a word you should use often and have no regrets about. Imagine if we said yes to every new client, project, or collaboration that came along. How would you give your best work if you're struggling to find time to devote to each one? We know that it is exhausting and frustrating to work like this, but we still take on too much. That's why successful entrepreneurs learn to say no. But they don't say no to everything. They know how much time they can dedicate to a new project, and if it conflicts with one of their priorities, they will reject it because they know that by saying yes to one thing means saying no to something else. Let me say that again. When you say yes to one thing, you are saying no to something else. Think about it. If you say yes to a project, what are you giving up to do that project? Will you be losing time that you could spend on something important in your life, like family or a better money-making task? Now, I can't take credit for coming up with this. I first read this in a book called The Joy of Missing Out by Tanya Dalton. And she has a full chapter about this concept. But that saying, when you say yes to one thing, you are saying no to something else, triggered a light bulb for me. Isn't this exactly what we teach our kids? To set limits? It's all I needed to hear to stop feeling guilty about saying no to opportunities. I had to learn to set boundaries for myself to avoid becoming overwhelmed. And you know what's the most beautiful thing about the freedom to say no? It allows you to give full attention to your priorities and enrich those. You set goals, focus on them, and reduce the distractions. But let's discuss this in a little bit more because no is still a difficult word to say to someone. We need a better strategy on how to say no so it's clear and firm, but still polite. And once you start doing it, it will feel more natural to you. It's as easy as saying something friendly, followed by a solid no, and finishing with something kind. Like, I'm so flattered that you thought of me. Unfortunately, I have a prior commitment, so I'm unable to do that. I cannot wait to see how it turns out. Or, thanks so much for inviting me to be a part of that amazing opportunity. However, I have other commitments and will not be able to give it the time that it deserves. I really appreciate you thinking of me. What feelings did you have after those? Nothing negative, right? You're able to answer honestly, clearly, and positively. And believe it or not, the other person appreciates your clarity too. Now, this strategy or technique takes practice to fully implement. I'm still working on it, but I want you to try this technique the next time you need to say no to something. Instead of a flat out no, use this firm, respectful technique and squish that no with some kindness. I bet that will remove the feeling of guilt once and for all. And that's all I have for you today, but I want you to hear this saying one more time. When you say yes to one thing, you are saying no to something else. Look out for the next episode. Bye for now.